Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here on ZLN. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Phoenix Suns in the finale of the NBA preseason. Guys, what can I say? When it comes down to this end of preseason and the end result of it, lots of mistakes were made in this game, I have to really say, when it came down to it. But regardless, we all have to remember this is the preseason. So, could we expect something different going into the NBA season once we reach it next week? It could be a whole different scenario, and I will talk to you guys about that. I mean, there were some things that we saw in this game against the Suns were not to the expectations to what we always see from the Lakers on a regular basis, especially when it comes to like the second half was just horrendous. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But the first half was reasonable. I have to say, when it came down to the first half, it went really well for the Lakers. But when it came down to the second half, it did not go well. So I will get into all that in just a bit. But before, like always, please be sure to like this live stream. For those of you who are joining me, please comment in this live stream, and I will display your comments on the screen so we can talk about the Lakers and your guys' thoughts about it. So please do so. And also just follow me all across social media. It's really important that you do so you'll be in the know about everything that goes down when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. And please, guys, disregard the headline on the right side of your screen. I forgot to change it up before I went live, but just ignore that. It's not the Lakers were facing the Suns. It was not the Bucks. So disregard that. I forgot to change it. Maybe I can change it right now, but I think it'll be a whole different thing. But yeah, I mean, it's a whole thing. So my apologies about that. But I just saw it just right now. So my apologies. But just disregard the headline there. But just follow me all across social media. And of course, just subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you'll be in the know for Lakers post-game shows. It is finally returning on this channel. And, it'll be just great for me to talk about my Los Angeles Lakers with all of you and, talk about the good things, the bad things that we saw throughout the regular season. So please stay in the know. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and follow me all across social media: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, all of those great social media sites. And so, yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's talk about this. Obviously, when you look at tonight's loss in the final finale of preseason, things went good at first when it came down to the first half. We saw some good things from the scoring side, defensively as well. Because as we all know, the Suns, even though they acquired some great offensive players that can score, we saw a couple of times throughout the game that the Suns are not to the expectations. Because obviously, when you look at their lineup, obviously Bradley Beal did not play, and also Devin Booker. So realistically, when everyone else is healthy, you play all your best players. But obviously, I think Frank Vogel of the Phoenix Suns did not go with that route. So obviously, when you look at what went down in the second half, it was not to the Lakers' expectations. Obviously, when we saw throughout the preseason, we saw some competitiveness on both sides of certain on certain sides of the ball, from the defensive side and offense. And just the Lakers, we saw throughout the preseason that they don't play most of their stars in the second half, and most of the effort came from the second half of the the second unit in the second half. So it was just obviously throughout the game, it was just not to the expectations. But as you obviously can see from the title of the video, is a time to panic. Do we need to panic now? No, there's no need to panic. I mean, this is just normal for the Lakers to play throughout the preseason. I mean, we saw that. I mean, we saw that Darvin Ham did not play our starters in the first half, and most of the efforts came from the second unit. So we're not going to expect that from a regular basis from the Lakers. Obviously, the in every game. So there's no need to panic, but there's some questions when it comes down to certain players not stepping up. Obviously, the second unit did not step up whatsoever. And I'll get to for all of you for seeing. This is the scoring from our players tonight. Obviously, when you look at the team as a whole, it was pretty bad, especially when it came down to their efforts in the second half. I mean, there's no question about that. Obviously, when you look at the offensive side, obviously it goes to the Phoenix Suns with the field goal, 47% to the Lakers 46. And then when you look at the shooting effort, it was pretty even. I mean, at most, they shot around 39% from the three to the Lakers 7, or if you round it up, it's 38%. So there's some efforts on certain things when it came down to the Lakers in the first half, but obviously it went completely bad in the second half for sure. Defensively, it was not that great. Obviously the Phoenix Suns have 50 rebounds to the Lakers 36. Offensively, 15 to 6 offensive rebounds. And then when it came down to the steals, it was pretty even, off by one. Obviously, the Suns had 12 steals to the Lakers 11. But the blocks, most of those blocks came from Anthony Davis, and I'll get to him in just a bit. Just great on the Lakers blocks defensively. So great job for them. They had 13 blocks to the Suns 3. So it was just great there for the Lakers to show some effort on that end. But other than that, when it came down to the turnovers, unfortunately, it goes to the Lakers with 22 to the Suns 18. But let's talk about the players of tonight. Obviously, LeBron James led the team tonight with 19 points. Shot very well for his final preseason game for the Lakers. When you look at it, he shot very well. Not bad. 3 of 5 from the three. It had 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Throughout the preseason, we did not see a lot from LeBron James, and it was obviously so, because most of the time, superstars don't play in preseason games. We saw that in this game as well, with no Bradley Beal, no Devin Booker. So with that being said, I mean, it was just obvious that we're not going to see a lot of superstars caliber players to be playing in the preseason. So it's something, a bit of a norm for us to witness. But it was great to see LeBron play in the final game of the preseason. I think it was obvious because, if Kevin Durant's going to play, why not LeBron? So it's just obvious that both superstars will be playing in the final game of the preseason, working their way to playing in the regular season. So it's just obvious on that sort of end. So, but LeBron led the Lakers tonight in scoring, so great job for him. Had a solid night. Anthony Davis, he went off. He went off when it came down to the defensive side of the ball. Now, obviously, put up some decent numbers scoring wise in the preseason. Had 15 points out there tonight and went 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three. So we could expect to see more shooting from Anthony Davis going into the regular season, and I hopefully so, because for a big guy who can shoot for you, obviously it really works when it comes down to winning games. So having somebody like Anthony Davis, who's a big guy who can shoot, really works out at the end when it comes down to it. So just a great night. Great night for Anthony Davis, who had 2 rebounds, but he had 6 blocks. I mean, talk about the potential conversation that we'll be hearing from Anthony Davis when it comes down to the regular season, of him potentially getting defensive player of the year. That still remains if he just remains healthy. If he remains healthy, it's a possibility for him to get it. But it just sort of remains to be seen how healthy he is. And I think he's trying to. I think he's going to try his best to stay healthy. I mean, he even said it that he wants to. He did say he wants to play 82 games, but I don't think it's out of the question. I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does happen, kudos for him. Maybe he'll be in the running for MVP as well. But it's more likely that he will play at least 60% of the games. But we have to wait and see about that. How long that he can stay healthy for the regular season. So, but it's all up to the players around him, and especially players like Christian Wood and the rest to step up their roles to, obviously help the Anthony Davis out to remain healthy and stay on the court much longer. So, and we get to Christian Wood and Cam Reddish in just a bit, but when it came down to this game, really, guys, it all has to do with the coaching as well. Because I also witnessed in the second half that, for some reason, I don't know why Darvin Ham did not put enough point guards on the court for some reason. I don't know why. I kind of saw that we should have had more point guards playing than just having a lot of bigs playing in a certain lineup. And I think that was the main downfall of the Lakers not playing well in the second half. So we had to put that into consideration when it comes down to the coaching decisions. What Darvin Ham needs to put together before next week. So certain lineups do work at times, but it sort of depends on the team that you're playing against. So and especially against the Denver Nuggets is a different exception because they have bigs, and I think obviously you need to have a lot of bigs to play against a team like the Denver Nuggets next week. But when it came down to this game, there was not a lot of bigs, and I don't know why. When it came down to Darvin Ham not putting more point guards in a lineup, which obviously they were lacking a bit in the point guard positions. But if D'Angelo Russell can still play a couple more minutes in the preseason, then give it to him, because obviously it's just preseason for him to just practice on his game. But obviously Darvin Ham did not go with that route. So it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I mean, it is the preseason. Mistakes were made, and obviously Darvin Ham needs to fix them for sure. And hopefully he needs to go back to the drawing board to see what went wrong. And I think they will for sure. But let's all remember it is preseason. So hopefully things get better for the Lakers going into the regular season next week. But yeah, I mean, when it came down to it, Anthony Davis had a great night. 6 blocks for the Los Angeles Lakers. He was just monstrous at that. Austin Reaves had a solid night, had 14 points out there tonight with 3 of 4 from the 3. Once again, Austin Reaves, he's going to be our weaponizer, all right? He's going to be the sharpshooter for the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, for a guy who can shoot and put up decent numbers scoring-wise, really will help the Lakers win games for sure. And just imagine, it was preseason. Most of the guys were not even trying. So, or some of them were trying, but it was like, I don't need to put so much effort in a preseason game. So, and plus, just the rotation alone, you can just tell that this is not the regular season for the Lakers to play their top superstars throughout the first, second, third, fourth quarter. So this is not anything for us to panic about. And, as you can see from the title of the video says, or this live stream, excuse me, is it time to panic? There's no need of time to panic because it's the preseason, and most of the players did not play in the second half. LeBron did not play in the second half, or mainly in the fourth quarter. But, the starters alone did not play in the fourth quarter. So if they were, I think we would have won this game for sure. So having said all that, it's just preseason. We should not overreact about it for sure. But, Austin Reaves had a great night, went 3 of 4 from the 3, and his shooting is going to be very, very important for this team, and along with D'Angelo Russell as well. And I'll get to his shooting in just a bit because obviously it was, it was bad. It was bad. Let's just put it that way. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals for the Los Angeles Lakers. Great job out there for Austin Reaves. He's going to have another breakout year, to the point that we mentioned him in all-star caliber conversations, because if he just continues to wow fans, and if he continues to have great success before the all-star break, this upcoming season, hopefully he gets the votes, and hopefully he gets people's attention with his gaming for sure. But hopefully he lives up to that. But he just has to be consistent for sure, and that's something we have to really look forward to. So just great job out there for Austin Reaves. D'Angelo Russell, he had a bad game in my opinion, I have to say. Shooting wise, he had 8 points with 3 of 8 from the field, 0-4. That's not normal numbers that we saw from D'Angelo Russell in the preseason that we saw from him so far. He was great since the beginning, but obviously, these past couple of games, his shooting has been lackluster for these past couple of games. But I think most of that time, we'll see some off games from D'Angelo Russell. But I think once the regular season begins, and for him to face the Denver Nuggets, where he got a lot of criticisms because how he played in the preseason, in the playoffs against them, he has a motive. He has a lot of expectations, not just for this game as well, but also throughout the NBA season, because most people did not look at him to pay him, and he's going to fight for a contract year, along with Christian Wood, and even Taurean Prince as well. So just keep an eye on those guys, and especially D'Angelo Russell, to really let it up once you reach the regular season next week. So just wanted to put that out there when it came down to it. Taurean Prince, he had an off night as well, but guys, since the preseason began, he's obviously making a statement, and proving to the coaches and just the lineups alone, or his teammates alone, that he is capable of starting on the Los Angeles Lakers. So, and even Anthony Davis is endorsing. He's endorsing Taurean Prince to be in the starting lineup and getting that last starter role. So being named that. But and I said this numerous times throughout my live streams, is that when it comes down to it, he's deserving for it. I mean, he has proved us a lot that he really works well with Anthony Davis, with LeBron. Or I'm not sure if he played with LeBron this preseason. I might have to check, but I think he did. But especially in this game, so obviously it shows, especially in the first half. So there were some efforts when it came down to that. But just alone, also when it comes down to his relationships with players, D'Angelo Russell, he has a history with D'Angelo Russell during their time in with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So the relationship's still there, and they know how to play well together. So just that alone kind of makes the question, is Darvin Ham actually going to announce that Taurean Prince is going to be in the starting lineup over Rui Hachimura, who had a bad night as well, and I'll get to him in just a bit. But when it comes down to it, I won't be mad that if Taurean Prince gets the starting role, because the scoring, the shooting is something that's going to be needed for a guy who's a 3-and-D type player that can obviously facilitate and help the Lakers score. So especially shoot. So with that being said, I think Taurean Prince, if he does get it, congratulations to him, because he deserves it. But I'm still not ruling out that Rui Hachimura will get the starting job for the Los Angeles Lakers for next week. But you never know. There could be a lineup in place for the Nuggets matchup. So, but I think more likely that we're going to see the announcement maybe over the weekend, or it could be just maybe before the NBA season begins. And make no mistake, I will be giving you guys a video about that. So stay tuned for that, for my introduction of the NBA season for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'll go through all the rundowns, what went down, and just a quick recap of the preseason. Sorry, the yeah, also the preseason and the off season of the Lakers decisions that they made. So stay tuned for that, and stay in the know for that particular video. So hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Um, so yeah, I mean, with that being said, just a great, when it came down to the starting lineups, they played their role, most of them, but when it comes down to it, I mean, the most disappointment that we saw was the second unit. As you know, the bench roles did not live up to the expectations. We saw a bit of a lack of scoring for the second unit, but there was just not a lot of effort for the second unit, unfortunately, and just not having Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent and as part of the second unit, kind of hurts things for sure, when it comes down to it. But at the same time, there's some players that really needed to step up in these particular games. I know it's preseason, so we should not overreact. But having said all that, I mean, just Rui Hachimura. I mean, you're fighting for a starting role. You think that you would, show out and step up and play better. When it comes down to the competition of Torian Prince, who's obviously been showing that he wants to start and wants to prove that his contract. So, you know, you got paid over the summer. You think you will obviously put up some big numbers in the preseason, but unfortunately, preseason is another thing. But when it comes down to regular season, you never know. He could somehow lit it up in the regular season. But so far, if he still is announced that he's the starter, then kudos to him. And most people, including myself, will say that that he deserves it for sure, as well. But at the same time, Torian Prince is making a lot of noise in this preseason game, throughout the preseason, and it's just something that we really need to put our attention to when it comes down to that. So just want to put that out there. When it comes down to his performance tonight, it was lackluster, but at the same time, it is preseason. You never know; he will let it up in the regular season. So just want to put that out there for Rui Hachimura. Christian Wood, for some reason, I'm not sure what's going on. He has been playing pretty badly in this preseason games that we saw from him so far. Maybe the regular season will be much different. Most players will obviously have a goal of winning, and obviously records will count. So you never know. I'm still gonna give most of the, in general, really. I mean, this is the preseason. We should not overreact with certain players playing lackluster games. Like Rui Hachimura and Christian Wood and the rest. But when it comes down to the regular season, there's some optimism that they will somehow play much better in the regular season for sure. So just keep that in mind when it comes down to that. I mean, preseason is a whole different thing, but at the same time, we're obviously looking at certain players, how well they play and stuff like that as a Laker and debuting as Lakers, and so far it's been good. But at the same time, the effort needs to be there when it comes down to certain players playing certain quarters, and we also have to consider the starters did not play in the fourth quarter. So having said all that, the Lakers were just destined to lose in this game because the starters did not play. So let's just put that out there when it comes down to it. But Christian Wood had a bad game. He went negative 35. I mean, that's just pretty bad as it is right there. But there were some players that played much worse as well. And Cam Reddish is the second one, and I'll get to him in just a bit. But he only put up 2 points. Christian Wood had 5 rebounds, though. No, 6 rebounds, excuse me. So when it comes down to that, Rebounding wise, you can obviously put that out there for the Lakers. He had one block as well. But having said all that, I mean, he just had a bad game out there tonight. So this just hopefully he can bounce back from it once we reach the regular season for sure. So, let's just hope for that. Um, Maxwell Lewis played for 12 minutes, managed to put 2 points out there tonight, but him and just the rest of the rookies were just playing in the second half. So, and we all know how that went. It did not go well for the Lakers, but most of the players that played in the second half were rookies and second year players. So we just have to put that into consideration because most of them will not be playing most of the time with the Los Angeles Lakers. Most of the time they'll be playing with the South Bay Lakers, and I'm talking about Maxwell Lewis, Alex Fudge, Colin Castleton, and Demoy Hodge. I mean, those are two-way players, two-way contract players. And I think I mentioned Maxwell Lewis is on the regular roster, but we could see him play with the South Bay Lakers for sure, along with Jalen Hood-Schifino. So, and he was also out tonight in this game, along with Jared Vanderbilt, who's still dealing with an injury, along with Gabe Vincent. So we have to put that into consideration. Hopefully, speedy recovery for both guys for their return for sure. When it comes down to that. So with that being said, I mean, this is a bad second unit for sure, especially in the second half. So not a lot of effort for sure. But we had to put that into effect that the starters did not play in the second half. So just keep that in mind. What else? Jackson Hayes. There's a lot of promise for this kid. I mean, I have to say, when it comes down to his efforts that we can bring to the table as the backup for Anthony Davis, and just for him to be the second reliable center to step up, along with also considering Christian Wood. I mean, I think his efforts defensively would really help the Lakers in each quarter of the game. So, with that being said, I mean, defensively, he will help out the Lakers. He put up 7 points, so not bad. Solid night. But he went 3 of 3 from the field, had 3 rebounds. I think he needs to increase his rebounding when it comes down to his athleticism, what he can bring to the table for the Lakers. But just want to put that out there. And he had, I believe, 1 block and 1 steal. So defensively, he's going to be a big help going into the regular season for sure. So hopefully he has a successful season with the Los Angeles Lakers, and hopefully that happens for sure. So just a solid night for Jackson Hayes. Let's see. Who else? Let's talk about Max Christie for a bit. For some reason, guys, he did put up 10 points. I mean, that's all right. I mean, obviously, but he managed to go 4 of 8 from the field and went 2 of 3 from the 3. So there's some optimism, some expectations that he will have a much better year, considering his role is obviously improved compared to last season. He's obviously going to be the backup shooting guard behind Austin Reaves. So, with that being said, he needs to show a lot of effort, and hopefully just, somehow find his stitch, find his rhythm as the backup for the Lakers and just for the second unit. Because those numbers that you're seeing came from the second half. And that's when the Lakers were not playing so well in the second half against the Phoenix Suns. So maybe that obviously puts that into a bit of confusion of how well he played numbers wise, as you can see from the stats. So, hopefully, he gets his act together because, obviously I know he's in his second year. We should give him another couple of years until he's like NBA ready, I guess. I'm not sure, but he's still in his second year. He's just still learning the ropes, especially in a new role on the team. So compared to last season when he was just maybe like the 12th, 13th player coming off the bench. So as part of the rotation, but now he's on a whole different level. I mean, he's now part of the Lakers rotation as part of the second unit, shooting guard behind Austin Reaves. So Max Christie, he just needs to step up certain games, and that's obviously going to be the expectation that we're going to see from him going to the regular season. So he needs to show some effort for sure, no doubt about it. But other than that, guys, I mean, that's all I really have to bring up when it comes down to this team. Obviously, the preseason is over, and now expectations is going to be fully looked at from the Lakers heading into the regular season. Obviously, some Lakers minds, including my own, are contenders. They're going to be contending for a championship. They're part of the contending crew, if you will, when it comes down to the Western Conference. And guys, I will be going more in depth of the Lakers' expectations in a video very soon. So please stay tuned for that. I'll be talking about from the beginning to now when it comes down to the Lakers, this Lakers team, the 2023-2024 Lakers, going into the new year of NBA season next week. And just that alone, this shows a lot of excitement for sure. And really can't wait to see what this team is truly all about once we reach the regular season next week. So, and just expect, fourth quarter, third quarter, the starters are going to be playing. Okay. LeBron is going to be playing more games. I mean, it was just preseason. Most of us should not be panicking about certain games in the preseason because they don't really count. It sort of depends on the development of certain players and certain players having certain roles, certain rotations, especially when it comes down to the fifth starter role on the starting lineup. It still remains to be seen who will be getting that role, but as what we were be seeing from Torian Prince, Rui Hachimura, those are the only top two guys that is deserving of starting. So we could expect an announcement very soon from Darvin Ham when it comes down to the player who's be getting that starting role. It could be Torian Prince because he's been sensational throughout the preseason. But, like I said before, I mean, the expectations and most reports are indicating that it's going to be Rui Hachimura. But, somehow Darvin Ham sees something and says, you know what, this works very well for the Lakers when it comes down to certain games and certain players stepping up certain roles and how well they play with certain players. It could be Torian Prince. And like I said before in my past live streams, Torian Prince, he played with D'Angelo Russell back in with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So the relationship's there and, they're friends. So with that, it obviously could work for the Lakers when it comes down to that pairing and just and plus the endorsement of of Anthony Davis when it comes down to Torian Prince, getting the starter role. So, but Rui Hachimura is no scrub. I mean, we saw some glimpse of his greatness, but with that being said, this game was not a good way for him to obviously end the series that end the preseason on a bad note. But at the same time, you never know how training camp goes with certain players. It could be a whole different thing in the eyes of certain coaches. But at the same time, I mean, Torian Prince, maybe he's showing out in training camps and also in this preseason as well. So, with that being said, guys, sorry, guys, just a second. I need to charge my laptop before I end it. I don't want to stop mid live stream, so my apologies. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I mean, just in general, this is going to be a fun season, a very fun season, and I really can't wait for the announcements of the starting lineup. And also, guys, just expect a video. Expect a video of my analysis of the Lakers and their preseason. Oh no, of the no their regular season, just from the beginning and to now, from the off season, and just it's just a recap of the Lakers off season and expectations, starting lineups, rotations, all of that. I mean, we will have a much better idea in the next couple of days, or until the regular season begins next week. So um, stay tuned. Hit that notification bell for my video that will be uploading, I believe, the next couple of days, when it comes down to the announcement that we'll be hearing from Darvin Ham of the starting lineup and the rotations and just in general. I mean, NBA season is just around the corner, and we will be talking about just the Lakers and their expectations. And if you want to know about my thoughts about it, please comment in this. No, just stay in the know. Stay in the know, and just you know, um, follow me all across social media: Facebook, Instagram, X. All those great social media sites, and just hit that notification bell for future live Lakers post game show on ZL and on YouTube. So just be in the know for more, because my post game shows will be returning. So if you want to know more in the know about everything Lakers, especially game analysis about any matchups, throughout the regular season next week, before the NBA season begins. Please hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And once again, thank you all for joining me on this live stream. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, I know I'm on the loop, so my apologies for saying this, but just follow me all across social media and just hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next live stream and the next video. Once again, I will be uploading a video about the Lakers and just, the regular, the off season and the potential starters and the rotations, and also just the expectations for us to watch when it comes down to this Lakers team going to the regular season. What's the goal and everything. So if you want to know about it, please stay tuned for the video that will be uploading in the next couple of days once we have the announcements of Darvin Ham's and his starting lineup and just the rotation and all that. So please stay tuned. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next live stream and the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.